Sometimes when we can't is why we must. Have you ever experienced that? Last year, Michaela and I took a trip that felt like it just was not the right time for. We went and stayed in a cabin in the woods, no phone reception, beautiful property. It had a private lake, river, and waterfall. It was fantastic. We felt like we couldn't go, but we decided that we needed to anyway, and it was 1000% the right decision. We left for that holiday feeling like we were behind, and then we went away for like 10 days. Guess what? When we came back, we got in front in no time. We needed that reset, the break, the breath. Remember, failure was part of the objective of entering the gym this morning. Are there things in your business that are worse off for having you involved in them?
How can I use my business as a way to be there for my family more?
Those outputs can only be reined in and intentionally developed or directed by managing the inputs.
Forced us eventually to take over 2 years of our life to dig out of just to get to zero.
You don't have the things from the places you haven't gone to.
Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. The flies come for the poo, right? There's a push-pull effect with all of your marketing, and it needs to be pushing away the customers that are not a good fit and drawing in the ones that are.
Hey, welcome to all of you, bandits and chilies. This episode is called The 5-Day Freedom and Profit Quest. I'm going to start out this episode by making a series of assumptions. Maybe most of them will be true for you, maybe all of them will be. Let me know if I absolutely nail this. But you'll see how these assumptions lead into our theme for the day pretty quickly. So, given that you're listening to this particular episode of this particular podcast, I'm going to assume that you've heard me talk about or make reference to the 5-Day Freedom and Profit Quest before. I'm also going to assume that you yourself have not yet done the 5-Day Freedom and Profit Quest. You're running a cleaning business, you've either got kids or you're thinking about having them, and you're wondering when this whole business thing is going to start working for you the way that you want it to, right? Like you've got this ideal for what your business is supposed to be and how it is supposed to support you and your family and your vision for what your family could be, but in the meantime, it kind of feels like you're playing defense. You're reacting, but your business is calling the shots. Your time horizon is constantly getting pushed to the near term, thinking about getting through the day or the week, instead of working towards a long-term result like, this is what we will have achieved in 12 months or 3 years from now. You're trying to run your business, but it feels like it is running you. And sometimes it feels like it's running you into the ground. You've grown this business with the vision that it will serve you and your family. But right now, it feels like you are in servitude to your business instead, sacrificing the best of family time and mental presence on the altar of your business. You wanted to take your son to soccer practice or to be fully present at dinner, but sometimes, even when you manage to be there, your business has tagged along as an unwelcome, uninvited +1. But on the flip side, we can't just complain about it. Your business is supporting your family. You have a roof over your head, food on the table, the lights are on, and your business is to thank for all of those things. You're proud of what you've built, and so you should be. But that doesn't mean that you have to settle. You can be all at once grateful whilst still striving for more. But back to that idea of the uninvited +1. The reality is that you did invite your unwanted +1. You might not have meant to, but whilst it can be fun to anthropomorphize your business and visualize it as this separate entity lumbering around, following you to kids' sporting events and family barbecues, it is actually only acting the way that you have built it, trained it, and permitted it to. Again, your business is supporting your family's needs, so you have to be responsible with it and to respect it and so forth. But also, you can draw some hard lines, set some boundaries, and take charge so that you're not a doormat to your business. This is exactly why I created the 5-Day Freedom and Profit Quest. As you probably know, I got off the tools in our cleaning business about 4 years ago, and that was an achievement that I was proud of. I had a taste of that new level of freedom that I had been striving after up until that point. But then something would pull me back onto the tools. It was like a dangling carrot just out of reach, and there was a stick too. Every time something went wrong, a job blew out, a customer complained, a piece of equipment broke, I'd throw in my cape and whoosh in to save the day. At first, it felt noble, like I was the hero of my own story. Have no fear, Mark is here. You're welcome, citizen. Then I'd strike a Superman pose before flying off again. Great! But over time, it became suffocating. I was always on edge, waiting for the next fire that needed to be put out. I'd be having dinner with my family, but my mind was still at work, bracing for the next call. And many times it wasn't just in my head. That next call, that text, or that email would come. The phone would buzz or ding, and I would feel it reverberate through my body in this visceral response before I even knew what the notification was about. Maybe it was just a meme from my brother, but my central nervous system didn't know that. It would react like it was the beginning of another 12-hour day, or an employee calling in sick, or a customer calling to check if we were coming, only for me to then realize that we hadn't scheduled them in properly. I really hated those ones. So I was in that stage. I wasn't running the business was running me, and it was running me into the ground. Then it hit me. I wasn't a bystander. I wasn't stuck on the tools by some external force, some cosmic superglue. I was keeping myself there. Every time I whooshed back in to fix something, I was reinforcing the idea that the business could not function without me. I was teaching the business that, the team that, and I was teaching myself that. That was a hard pill to swallow. All at once, I saw a clearer path to freedom, yet realized that I was actually afraid to take it. We had built this business to give us freedom, but I was the one chaining myself to it. That realization stung. It was like looking in the mirror and seeing the problem staring right back at me. So we made a drastic decision. We made a 1,000-kilometer move, 10 hours away from our service area. It felt insane, like we were daring the business to collapse. I remember packing up the house, wondering, are we really doing this? What if it all falls apart? What if we need to come back? We've signed a lease, we've got 2 kids. What if? Every day felt like walking a tightrope without a safety net, but it completely changed the equation. I couldn't just jump back in for any little thing. I had essentially clipped my superhero cape. We now had to be more creative, more resourceful. Joshua Latimer says that you should run your business as though you have no arms and no legs. Well, that's what I did. As the weeks went by, something incredible happened. The business didn't burn to the ground. In fact, it grew. And for the first time, I wasn't at the beck and call of every little fire that cropped up. A year later, a different kind of challenge came our way. My dad had a massive heart attack, and my mum's health was declining. We knew we wanted to move closer to them and offer some extra support, but it still came as a total surprise to us to actually realize that the business wasn't even a factor in our decision at all. It didn't matter where we lived, it would keep running. That moment was when the weight of all of this really landed. We'd built something that gave us the freedom to put our family first. Our business was finally serving us, not the other way around. I will always be grateful for that fact and for the help and support that I had along the way which made that possible. My beautiful wife, Michaela, she is willing to take a bet on me, I'll say that much. Joshua Latimer and Nick DeMark, who I learned so much from, and to even see what could be possible within our cleaning business. I'm also grateful to our team on the ground and many more. My parents' health, by the way, has improved significantly in the last couple of years, despite our best efforts. No, I'm kidding, but it wasn't because of anything special that we did. But regardless of that, it's been really good to be able to be here with family throughout this whole time. Anyway, the point of all of that in relation to the 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest is that is what it's all about. You may not want to move away and to run your business remotely. What it means for your business to actually be serving your family, not the other way around, that will be completely different for you than for me or for John or for Jane. But the foundations of what you want your business to provide for you are the same: more time and more profit. If your business could give you an additional 10 hours per week of your time back and an additional $5,000 in monthly profit, then you could shape those 2 elements into your own specific vision for your family. That is exactly what the 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest is. 5 consecutive days, 2 hours per day, one-on-one, just you and me. And as such, we can set a very clear goal specific to exactly what you want your business to offer to your family. Let me give you a quick breakdown of what happens on each of the 5 days. Hey, it's Future Mark here, jumping in because I'm excited to share with you that Aubrey and I just finished the 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest. There are still 17 free spots left on the sign-up page, and listen to what Aubrey said when I asked him if he would take $15,000 in exchange for not doing the 5 days.
15,000, not do the 5 days? Nah, not a chance. This 5 days actually can unlock that 15,000 for me in a space of success, so not a chance. With that 5 days with you can be 15,000 a week. Or we've identified ways of which I could get at least 9 to 10 hours back in every week, which I can spend doing whatever I want with my family. We've also identified ways in which I can achieve at least $150,000 additional profits, which could help, when I'm spending time with the kids. They eat a lot of ice cream. If you haven't done the Freedom and Profit Challenge with Mark, that's over 5 days, you're missing out. Mark, business mentor, and I'll call a friend as well. What I love and appreciate about Mark is every single thing that we spoke about, every question that he asked came back to, hey, told me you wanted to spend time with the family, told me that you're doing this for your family. How does this help? Can you see how this doesn't help?
To hear Aubrey's full testimonial and to claim your free 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest, visit warplan.au/coffees and krakens. Link in the description. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Let me give you a quick breakdown of what happens on each of the 5 days. Day 1 is really laying the foundation for the other 4 days. It's about getting me caught up to speed on your journey so far and your current situation, the good, the bad, the ugly of where you've grown your business to up until this point, and also crucially, clearly defining the goal that we're working towards. What is it about your current situation in your business that you would like to improve? There's 2 main objectives of day 1. The first is to get massive clarity about what your business serving your family looks like for you. Then from within that, you can call your shot so that you have a clear commitment to a clearly defined goal. The second objective of day 1 is to get your first additional $1,000 in profit for your business within 24 hours. Yes, within the time frame of the challenge itself. That's the goal of day 1. On days 2, 3, and 4, we focus on some specific strategies to get high leverage results in your business. Now, high leverage results, what does that mean? It kind of sounds like a bit of a buzz term, doesn't it? It's like I was writing the script out for this and I didn't know what to call something, and so I gave it a cool sounding name. High leverage results. Okay, but picture a basic lever. Let's run with a seesaw. Now, instead of a child sitting on each end, on one end, there's going to be a bag of money, and on the other end, there is you. The way that a seesaw is set up, you have some leverage. So you can sit, stand, or push down on your end and lift the bag of money up on the other end. Great. But if that bag of money was to get bigger and bigger and heavier, it would reach a point where you just couldn't get it to budge. So then you could either get your 5 fattest friends to come and help you weigh your end down so that you can lift the money bag, or you could adjust the leverage. If the fulcrum is moved closer to the load end, you now have more leverage. If you extend the length of the effort arm, you now have more leverage. So all of a sudden, your own individual weight or force or effort is enough to move this much larger weight of money. In your business, there are tons of things to do, loads of things that you could be doing, right? You know all of the things. You might have some tasks that you do which could be automated completely by a tool that costs $20 per month. So if you were to spend 3 hours per week on a task like that, your time is effectively worth $1.66 per hour. If you're on the tools doing labor or in the office replying to emails, maybe you're performing tasks that could be outsourced for about $35 to $40 per hour. Maybe you're really good at what you do, and so you are worth 2 employees in that space. So really, in that case, your time would be worth $70 to $80 per hour in that equation. Obviously, if you're out on the tools, you are producing more than that per hour. But what I'm talking about is what it would cost to replace you from that role. There are real limitations to the leverage that you can extract from these kinds of roles within the business. And there is honor in all work provided that it isn't immoral. And you have to do it all when you start your own business. No one else will do the things that need to be done to get you to the next level. But then, you need to be able to effectively delegate. Otherwise, you will just create a larger and larger workload for yourself. In the 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest, especially days 2 through 4, we go over the Frappe framework: frequency, referrals, average ticket, price, production rate, and expenses. The thing about this stuff is that it is just inherently the most valuable work that you can be doing within your business. Maybe when you start off, you can only manage to find 1 to 2 hours per week to commit to it. But on the low end, Frappe activities are worth hundreds of dollars per hour, and typically they are worth thousands of dollars per hour. So that is what I mean when I say high leverage results. And again, within the 5-day Freedom and Profit Quest, we will be working one-on-one. So we can get into the best strategies for your exact business, your situation, your strengths, and your goals. From this, on day 2, we look to add $16,680 to your early journey map. Day 3 has the goal of adding at least $22,000, and day 4 adds another $18,000. So if you're playing along at home, that's a minimum goal of $57,680 across days 1 through 4. Now that's the minimum goal. It isn't a guarantee, but we have a baseline target already lined up, and then we look for constraints and opportunities within your individual business and situation. Then on day 5, we recap days 1 through 4. Each of the days has a mindset component, but on day 5, we go deeper into the mindset obstacles that may manifest themselves. And this is really critical, as it's this stuff going on in your head that will be the difference between your map and your money. The plan can make sense on paper, but there are still all sorts of things going on in the 6 inches in between your ears that may prevent you from actually taking action and hammering the nail all the way into the board. Days 1 through 4, we've measured it up, we've lined up the nail, we've even tapped it into place. We don't want to just leave it there. It needs to be hammered in. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Mark, this sounds great, but I just don't have the time. I'd love to do it, but I just don't have the time. Trust me, I've been there. Let me ask you this. If things keep going the way they are right now, will you have the time in 3 weeks or in 3 months? If you don't have it now, what makes you think that you will have it soon? Sometimes when we can't is why we must. Have you ever experienced that? Last year, Michaela and I took a trip that felt like it just was not the right time for. We went and stayed in a cabin in the woods, no phone reception, beautiful property. It had a private lake, river, and waterfall. It was fantastic. We felt like we couldn't go, but we decided that we needed to anyway, and it was 1000% the right decision. We left for that holiday feeling like we were behind, and then we went away for like 10 days. Guess what? When we came back, we got in front in no time. We needed that reset, the break, the breath. Once you sign up for the Freedom and Profit Quest, we'll work out the timing. I've got some flexible time options on the booking calendar, but even if none of them suit you, we can chat about a way to make it work with your schedule. All you need to do is decide that you are going to commit to it. The rest can be figured out. Lastly, check out the testimonials on the sign-up page at warplan.au/coffees and krakens, link in the description. That's it. Have an awesome day. Make someone else's day awesome. I love you just the appropriate amount, like take whatever is weird and then take a healthy step backwards from that line. That's exactly how much. If it's weird, you're the weirdo. Catch ya. Bye.
Hey, you're a family-oriented business grower. You should join our free group for family-oriented business growers. It's like the perfect place for someone your size and shape. Join via warplan.au, link in the description, and whilst you're there you can book a free clarity call with me to help identify the next 3 dominoes you need to knock over in your business.